Ladies and gentlemen, it's voter registration weekend and political parties are out in full swing, convincing South Africans, talking to South Africans, asking South Africans questions, man. Even the media. For once, the media is going to the townships, speaking with the people to the townships, trying to understand the mood of the people, man. You know, watching the news, if there's one thing that I've realized, it's that the South Africans are not enthusiastic, especially when it comes to voting, man. You know, some of us are political junkies. Some of us actually care about the direction of the country, but it looks like many people in the country, they simply don't care, man. They just go on TV and watch these interviews that have been done on the streets, watch these newsrooms, talking with the people on the streets, and you can hear, man, people are saying, nah, man, I'm not going to vote. I'm not even going to bother myself with voting. I don't care where this country goes. This is where people are in South Africa today. I mean, I remember a while back, I said that South Africans need to stop delegating our problems to political parties. If you are so sick and tired of the African National Congress running the country, you need to stop delegating your problems to your favorite political party. You need to start helping your political party. You need to start being out there and helping your political party get rid of the African National Congress, because some of us, we tend to think that by supporting a certain political party, it is enough for us to kick out the African National Congress. I said people need to make it a point that you need to find 5 people who didn't vote in the previous elections and convince these people to go and vote out the African National Congress. If you are sick and tired of the ANC, you need to go out and help your political parties. You need to go out and help all the people that are trying to come together in terms of kicking out the African National Congress. You cannot do that by being online, by tweeting, by criticizing political parties. This is not how it's going to be done. The only way the African National Congress can actually be kicked out is by convincing people who don't care about the elections, or people who are not even interested in the elections, to go out and vote. So if there's 5 of you in your group of friends, each of you need to make sure that they gather like 5 people, mobilize 5 people each. It's 25 people. Now you have 25 people who are going to vote out the African National Congress. This is what I encourage people to do. This is what I encourage people to do, man. I always said that, man, if you haven't done something tangible to help your political party to kick out the ANC, then you don't have a right to complain when the African National Congress wins again. You don't have the right to complain sitting at home and complaining about the African National Congress, or going on social media to complain about the ANC. It is not going to be enough. Everyone, all hands on deck, all of us, we need to roll up our sleeves and be hands on deck. We need to start convincing our family members. We need to start convincing our friends. We need to start having conversations with our colleagues, because I can tell you now, if the ANC wins again, some of your colleagues are going to lose jobs. Some of you are going to lose your jobs. This is how bad things have gotten in South Africa today. So it's all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck. So this whole voter registration weekend is very important. It's very important. It's very important. This is time for us as average South Africans to talk with each other. This is time for us as average South Africans to start convincing each other and say, guys, this is the time for us to register. It's only a couple of months away, but this is time for us to actually register, because by registering, we've already taken the first step. If you can convince 5 people to go out and register, you have already completed the first step. The second step is to making sure that those people go to the polls. Guys, it needs to be our responsibility. It needs to be our responsibility. Not all the political parties, man, not all the political parties have the reach to go throughout South Africa. Some of the political parties that we are in favor of today, they don't even have enough budgets to go from township to township. Some of these political parties are relying on their own people, man, to spread the word. They are relying on their people, man, to have debates with other people and convince other people that, guys, this is the positive direction to take. This is the right direction to take. So it is our responsibility too to kick out the African National Congress. Don't ever get it twisted and think that is only the job of your favorite political party. It is not only the job of your favorite political party. It is your job too as a citizen. It is your job too as a citizen. So I think that time of actually delegating our problems to the politicians, we need to get our heads out of that. We need to get our heads out of that, man. We need to be hands on deck. We need to be hands on deck. We need to start having conversations with our families. We need to start having conversations with our friends. You know, some of our friends are not even in the mood to vote. I can tell you about some of the people that I have conversations with. These people, man, they don't even want to vote. They don't care about voting. They don't care whether African National Congress wins again. They don't care which political party wins again. They don't care about that. So these are kind of people that I'm trying to have conversations with and be like, guys, when things get bad, you don't have a right to complain. You don't have the right to complain about how bad things are if you didn't take part in these elections. These elections, man, are too important. These elections are too important. The stakes are too high. The stakes are too high. So we cannot afford to slip up. We cannot afford to sit back and say, nah, my favorite political party has it. Action SA has it, man. You know the DA has it. I know my EFF boys, they have it. No, they don't got it. They don't got it, man. It is your job to help the African National Congress, or it is your job to help the Economic Freedom Fighters. It is your job to help the Democratic Alliance. It is your job to help any political party that you love. It is your job. It is your job.
So, if you go to a municipality that is governed by IFP, you will never get a job because their policy is to lose out to them savings. If out to lose out to them savings.
Guys, what does it mean, Dunuza or Autonom Sevens? I don't want to misinterpret what Julius Malema is saying. I know his people are going to kill me if I misinterpret what he's saying. So what does it mean, Dunuza or Autonom Sevens? I know that Autonom Sevens means that you can find work. I want to understand what is it that Malema is saying, that Dunuza. What is Dunuza, guys?
To lose out to them savings. If out to lose out to them savings under IFP.
I don't know what it means, but it's funny. I don't know what it means, but it's funny, man. To know about Autonom Sevens. Guys, please educate us, man. Please educate us. We can't be here laughing at things that we don't even understand. Come on.
So we must make sure that they don't become the government of KZN, because they also want to work with the DA to exclude our people. So let's make sure by going out in our numbers, we stop the rot, we stop the corruption. We don't want you to rent. We want you to have your own house. Because land, when we say we're fighting for land, we're fighting for you to have a place called home. When you have a place called home, you also have a dignity. You have, when we give you land, when we give you a house,
and the EFF is already doing its round in terms of their event, because I think the event will be on the 10th. Now, guys, it is February already. I think the event will be on the 10th. So I suppose it's, let me check. I'm trying to find a calendar on okay, let me see on the PC. So the EFF is having its big rally in Moses Mabhida Stadium in a couple of days. It's next week Saturday. It's next week Saturday, man. These people, man, they want to pull another FNB. They want to pull another FNB, man. If EFF succeeds on this Moses Mabhida event, guys, and that is a show of force. I know some people are saying, yeah, just because many people go to your rallies, especially when it comes to the EFF, people always accuse the EFF, man, of having illegal foreigners at their rallies, man. This is one stigma that is starting to stick with the EFF. This stigma is starting to stick with the EFF, man. The EFF haters are saying that the EFF rallies, man, are filled up by illegal immigrants. This is what people are saying. This is what people are saying. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that event is going to pan out. Because I know even that guy that was fighting with Julius Malema, that tribalistic guy that was fighting with Julius Malema, is still ranting about the EFF. I think I saw a video recently, that guy is saying that Malema will enter FNB, not FNB Stadium, Moses Mabhida Stadium, over his dead body. I think he said something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole event is going to pan out. So thinking, man, just imagine two stadiums, FNB Stadium and Moses Mabhida Stadium, man. This is a show of force. This is a show of force, man. I don't understand why other political parties are not coming out. Shout out to Rise SA, man. You know when Rise SA Rise Mzansi did their manifesto launch. 4,000 people. 4,000 people were out to support Rise Mzansi. And for a new political party, I think it was huge for them. It was huge, man. 4,000 people coming out to the manifesto launch. Shout out to Songeso Zibi and the whole team. I don't know how many people actually attended the Build One South Africa manifesto launch, because recently Musi Maimane did a manifesto launch for Build One South Africa where he promised the South Africans 2 million jobs. He promised South Africans 2 million jobs. I don't know the numbers in terms of the people in attendance. I don't know how many people attended that rally, but it sounds, when Musi Maimane was speaking, man, it sounded like the arena was pretty packed. It sounded like the arena was pretty packed. So I'm really happy for the political parties that are not scared to come out and say, guys, let's test ourselves. I mean, like, also shout out to Patriotic Alliance. I mean, I know people are still trolling Patriotic Alliance for failing to fill up Orlando Stadium, but Gaten McKenzie said, man, they are coming in 90 days. So we are expecting Patriotic Alliance to announce the stadium event they are going to do soon. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that, man. It is nice to see political parties coming out and showing force, man. It is nice to see that.
Beautiful house with a flashing toilet. We are restoring your dignity. That's why any man.
But guys, let's be honest, man. Everyone can be a politician, man. Everyone can be a politician. Just imagine, man, you have a team of writers. These people are writing everything that you're going to say to the people. And you know, as a bonus, you have gullible South Africans, man, believing politicians at every single turn. I think being a politician, it is the easiest job in the world. Being a politician, it is the easiest job in the world, man. Just see, Julius Malema is standing there in front of those people, man. They are eating on his hands. They are eating on his hands. He's talking about land expropriation without compensation. They are so passionate, man. He's talking about them having dignity, man. Some of these people, I think most of the people, they live in the shacks, they live in the rural areas, man. Most of the people in South Africa, their living conditions are not nice. So this is why some of these policies are very popular. This is why every time when the EFF talks about land expropriation without compensation, you will see that they will have a lot of support. It doesn't matter what you think about the policy, but they will have a lot of support. So this policy is quite tempting to a lot of people. As much as they don't talk about the consequences of land expropriation without compensation, because I think, again, this is one conversation that people are not having. This is one conversation that even people in Zimbabwe, they did not have. They just thought that we're going to expropriate land without compensation. We're going to turn things upside down and everything is still going to be good. So this is one, again, conversations that I haven't heard from the EFF, that, guys, we know that once we expropriate land without compensation, there's going to be a pushback, whether we like it or not. Once the EFF gets in governments and pushes this policy of land expropriation without compensation, there's going to be a pushback. There's going to be a pushback globally. There's going to be a pushback internally. So I think it would have been better if the EFF would have actually clarified to South Africans that, guys, this is how we are going to deal with the pushbacks that we are going to get, because it is certain that we are going to get the pushback.
Who owns a piece of land and then he builds a shack on top of that land? He goes and drink alcohol somewhere. When he comes back drunk, he stands next to that shack and say, "This is my place." So people who own have got a sense of pride, and we want you to have a sense of pride. We want each and every black person to have a home, to have a land. There is too much land here. You must be given land, and we have been fighting for you to be given land, and that's why white people hate us, because we are fighting for you to get land and have your own property. So, asijiki on the issue of the land, because when you have land, everything comes. So fighters, let's go out there and protect our women and protect children, because there is a continuation of abuse of women and children.
Yeah, right.
These people have gone so mad, they even rape and kill 8-year-olds we as Mpakati must rise and say, you are not going to kill in our name. In our community, there shouldn't be anyone who gets raped. If anything, a man who sees a woman at night must accompany that woman to a home and make sure she's safe, because we are not a banana republic. We are people who are self-respecting. And when you are self-respecting and when you have self-love, you will love the next person.
All right. It's cool. Julius Malema, man. Shout out to Julius Malema and the EFF, man, for going out. Everyone who is going to help or convince the South Africans to go out, man. I'm going to stand behind that person, man. So shout out to the EFF, shout out to Julius Malema for actually making time to go out to convince the South Africans to go out and vote. As much as, you know, guys, as we go into these elections, man, I honestly don't think a lot of political parties have actually done enough in terms of helping young people, in terms of convincing young people to go out and vote. I don't think many political parties have actually done enough. I don't think many political parties have done enough to convince young people to go out and vote, because when you talk with young people, man, generally, when young people talk about elections generally, the first thing these people are saying is that they are not going out to the polls and vote. So it seems like the political parties that we have today have also failed in terms of encouraging young people to go out to the polls and vote. The parties, it looks like they have failed. It looks like they have failed because majority of young people in this country, man, they are not interested in politics. They are not interested in politics. So what, guys? Are we going to fight this fight for 2029? Are we going to fight this fight for 2029? I mean, like, this is the reason why I was criticizing political parties. I said every election season you will hear political parties talking about the voter education. We need to start educating our people about the voting, how important it is for our people to vote, what the vote means. But after the elections, you will never hear a single political party going out and say, guys, one of our policies is to educate the people on the importance of voting. One of our policies is to educate people and actually make people aware of the kind of power they are giving to the people whenever they vote for them. None of the political parties are talking that. But every time before the election season, man, every time before people go to the polls, the political parties are out talking that we need to educate the South Africans. It looks like some of these political parties, they wanted to capitalize on the fact that the majority of South Africans are uneducated. To me, it looks like most of these political parties are simply trying to capitalize on the fact that the majority of South Africans are uneducated. They know that when these people get fed up of the ANC, the next political party they go to, man, they're going to be so loyal to it because this is the type of people they are. This is how they are. This is how they are. They don't care about the debates. They don't care about the policies. They simply love you because they love you. I think this is one of the reasons, again, why most of these political parties are actually not pushing the voter education. They're not pushing the voter education, man. Talking about it when it's few months before people go to the polls, it makes no impact. It makes no impact. How many young people can you actually educate about the importance of voting a couple of months before the elections? How many young people are actually going to listen to you talking about the importance of voting a couple of months before the elections? These people are going to see you as a scam. They are going to hate you because they want to think this person is trying to act clever with us. He's trying to act clever with us, man. These people were not here. They were not educating us about how important it is for the people to vote. Just because we are going to the elections, now they are talking about why don't we sit down and discuss the importance of voting. Political parties, man, have themselves to blame. And they have themselves to blame. I don't know. They are trying to have their own cake and eat it at the same time. You know what they're saying? You can't have your cake and eat it. They cannot try to capitalize on the fact that the majority of the people are uneducated, but at the same time saying that South Africans are voting wrong because they are not educated. South Africans are voting wrong because they are uneducated. But at the same time, the same political parties do not want to educate South Africans about the importance of voting. I think some of these political parties, man, I think most of these political parties are simply trying to capitalize on the fact that the majority of South Africans are people who are uneducated. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Because why don't a single political party, man, get onto this program? Why don't a single political party say, we are going to take this policy and we are going to make it a responsibility for our youth branch, and our youth branch needs to go out and educate young people about the importance of voting, educate young people about the importance of politics. They are not doing that. They are not doing that. So I don't know why they want to talk about the voter education right now. They want to talk about voter education right now. I don't know. But that's why I'm saying they wanted to capitalize on the fact that the South Africans are uneducated, but at the same time, they are bashing South Africans for voting wrong because South Africans are uneducated. So which one is it?
We have John Steenhuisen with us at this voting station to share his thoughts ahead of the looming 2024 elections. So as I've stated earlier, I'm sure you've been told the numbers of this voting station. This is an ANC stronghold. You are trying to attract these voters to these registrations to register for 2024. However, only 19 so far have showed up. I mean, what can the DA tell us about these very low numbers in an area which is considered to have a high number of service delivery protests?
Well, look, I think it's a bit early in the weekend to start looking at it conclusively. I think I'd like to look at the Sunday figures. We've had 20 people at our table behind us who've come to check their registration status and that. So we've been giving some advice here. I think Sunday is always the busier day out of the two. A lot of people work on a Saturday and go and do shopping, etc. The big rush is usually after church on a Sunday.
Guys, are political strategists actually failing the political parties? Are the political strategists currently within the political parties failing these people? Are they failing these people? You look at South Africa, man, everything is wrong in South Africa. Why is it so hard for political parties to actually say, guys, come, let's kick these people out? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? I mean, like when you see these political parties, like I said, I met with the Build One South Africa earlier on. Many people are not even paying attention to them. Many people are not even paying attention to these tents. So what is it that political parties can actually do to attract people to come to these tents? Because going next to a mall or going to town and putting your tent there, the tent that says DA, the tent that says EFF, or the tent that says ANC, going to town and putting that tent there, it doesn't mean that people are going to come. So how can political parties actually attract people to come to these tents? How can political parties actually attract people to go to the polls? This is one issue that political strategists are failing in South Africa. They are failing in South Africa when it comes to this one issue. All of them. How is it possible, man, that politics is not important in South Africa today? How is it possible that politics is not important in South Africa today? And the thing that is weird is that we have social media, we have all of this sort of media for us to communicate. But for some reason, the message is not getting through. Maybe it is that thing I was talking about, that many people do not have the internet. But I'm talking even for the people who have the internet. It looks like the message is not getting through. It looks like people are generally not interested in politics. It looks like people are generally not interested in politics. You see one political party that is going to break that. It is the political party that is going to govern the country. The political party that is going to be able to attract the people to come to their tents. The political party that is going to have a message. I don't know what kind of message am I expecting from these political parties, but a political party that is actually going to have a message that is going to force South Africans to stand up. It is a political party that is going to govern South Africa. But right now, it looks like all of these political parties, man, they're just clutching at straws. It looks like they're just clutching at straws, putting tents everywhere, hoping that people come. If people don't come, then it's fine. People didn't come.
So, I mean, I think we'd like to see the figures at the end of the weekend. But again, as you said, there's the online portal that we know is working. And a lot of people are registering online, particularly younger people who are tech savvy and prefer to be able to do it online than go somewhere physically. And obviously, we'd love to look at those figures as well at the end of the weekend.
And how well has that online voter poll system been working for the DA? We understand that you have public representatives that actually go with their iPads into various homes to get people registered. What are the kind kind of numbers that you are pulling there, especially with the youth?
It's been a bit of a game changer, the online system. There have been a few hiccups with it this morning, but certainly our report back from our head office and nerve centres that they have been resolved, so people can still go and register online. It's been a game changer because you're able to go to people where they are, and it takes literally 5 minutes to register people. As I say, we'll be releasing some numbers at the end of this weekend that will be accumulation of the last 2 weekends, and I think it's going to be some exciting news for opposition voters.
Okay.
I think a lot of younger people are coming through that portal, and we'll be sharing those figures after the weekend, and I'm certainly very happy with the way they're heading.
Then again, as the leader of the opposition, you've had to, over the recent weeks or days rather, address some of your public utterances that may have been misconstrued or seem to be not in a good light with respect to the voters you're trying to
Hi guys, I don't know that sound, man. SABC, come on, man.
attach to the party. A recent report as well suggesting that you've instructed leaders that want to lead based off of a position that they should. What is your response to that report?
Well, let me first of all say that is fake news. It's a fake headline that's been put up there by EW.
Sounding like Donald Trump. It's fake news. It is a fake headline.
We'll be lodging an ombudsperson complaint there. I think it's already gone in. If you read the content of the article, I never said that at all. And that it's an absolute fabrication.
What did you say, Mr. Julius?
I said that people are welcome to their own opinions, that we discuss within the party, in our caucuses, in our federal councils, party positions, and we come to party position having listened to the views of everybody. And once that party position is taken, the party, that is the position of the party. And I said quite clearly in that interview, that's how it works in any political party. And I would venture to say in newsrooms as well, once a decision is made, that is a decision that is then taken about the direction. So I don't think there's anything abnormal about it. And, I'm really calling on the media to be responsible in their reporting. I'm very disappointed that EWN chose to clickbait a headline, and that's why the Ombudsman is there, and we'll certainly be taking it up with them.
One thing, I need to be honest. One thing I need to be honest about when it comes to the DA is that the DA needs to stop defending itself. The DA has been on the defense for the past 5 years. When are you guys going to go on offense? When are you going to go on offense, man? Because if you have to realize what is happening right now, these attacks that are coming left, right, and center, they are doing what I was talking about earlier on, trying to discredit the DA, trying to make people not look at the record of the DA. They're trying to make people look at you as people in the DA. When is the DA going to hit back? When are you going to hit back, man? If I was a political strategist in the DA, man, I would have told John Steenhuisen, go out there and double down. Go out there and double down. You said that Panyaza Lesufis, Ama Panyaza, they're a bunch of drunkards. People are angry. People are calling you racist. Man, go out there and double down and show people that these Ama Panyaza of theirs are actually incompetent. These people have wrecked a couple of cars, man. BMWs. These cars were bought by government money. Just imagine, man, bunch of people wrecking BMW cars, and these cars were bought by taxpayers. And when John Steenhuisen says these people are a bunch of drunkards, people are coming out and saying that John Steenhuisen is a racist, and now the DA is playing defense again. When will the DA stop playing the defense? When will the DA stop playing defense? Guys, stop playing the defense. People want you to hit on their behalf. People want you to punch back on their behalf. This is one of the reasons why Donald Trump was so popular in the United States. Donald Trump will never apologize. Instead of apologizing, he would double down. And people loved him for that. People loved him for that. So you cannot keep apologizing. You cannot keep trying to make these people understand that the DA official position is this. We are trying to take... No, you need to start doubling down and say, man, those people were not even supposed to be there. These people were only given 3 months of training. And the Gauteng government expects South Africans to think that people who were trained for 3 months are now capable of governing the townships. These people are now capable of patrolling the townships. This is why right now, when you hear the reports about Amapanyas, people have been brutally beaten, people have been assaulted, people have been harassed by these people. Why? Because these people, they don't even have training. They don't even have training for what they are doing. Only 3 months, and these people, they put them into the new BMWs, and the same guys are wrecking the same BMWs. And when you come out and say these people are nothing but a bunch of drunkards, people are saying you are racist, then you go back to your corner and start defending yourself. Man, if I was a political strategist of the DA, I would tell the DA to double down. Tell the DA to double down, man. There are a lot of people who are sick and tired of what is happening in Gauteng. There are a lot of people, man, who are sick and tired of what the ANC is doing. How is it possible that the ANC can do the worst thing in the world, which is governing South Africa like a banana republic? But when someone like John Steenhuisen dares says anything, the ANC will come out and call you a racist. And guess what? The whole country will now turn against you. You know why people always turn against you when they are accusing you of all sorts of things? It's because you people love defending yourselves. You love defending yourselves. Voters don't like people who defend themselves. Voters love people like Julius Malema. Voters love people like Gayton McKenzie. These are the kind of people that voters love. Voters love people like Fikile Mbalula. They love those people, man. Gayton McKenzie never apologizes for nothing. Gayton McKenzie never apologizes for nothing. Instead of apologizing, Gayton McKenzie will double down. The same thing with Julius Malema, man. You cannot sit here and expect Julius Malema to apologize on anything. It doesn't matter if the stance that Julius Malema took, it was wrong. He doesn't care. He's going to double down. Do you know why that person is going to double down? Because his supporters want him to double down. His supporters want him to double down. I think this is one of the reasons that people are trying to step back from the DA, is that you guys always defend yourselves. Always defend yourselves. Always trying to take things into a caution way. Always trying to be cautious on how you respond. Always trying to be reasonable when you are talking with these medias. You were supposed to be sitting, you were supposed to look that lady in the eye and say that SABC should be ashamed of themselves by spreading lies about me. You should be able to face any reporter who has reported nonsense about you, to say that your media is supposed to be shameful of themselves, and take the same message, take it to Twitter, take it to Facebook, do a video, drop a video, tell these media entities that all of you guys are reporting nonsense about me. This is what people want. People want someone who punches back. People want someone who punches back. I mean, like, you look at Julius Malema. Julius Malema, this is the reason why he's so popular, man. Julius Malema, this is the reason why he's so popular. Julius Malema punches back. He said, we don't care about the Springboks. Man, Julius Malema didn't care that the whole country was mad at him, saying that the EFF doesn't care about the Springboks. Julius Malema didn't care that the whole country was mad at him, saying that the colors of the Springboks are apartheid. No, he didn't care. Instead, he came back and doubled down. He came back and doubled down. People want a strong leader. People love a strong leader. People love that. You see Fikile Mbalula, we always make fun of Fikile Mbalula. That Fikile Mbalula, man, is a clown. This person always talks nonsense. This person is hurt in the African National Congress. Man, the supporters of the African National Congress, they love Fikile Mbalula because Fikile Mbalula doubles down, punches and doubles down. He doesn't care what you people say about him. If you come after the ANC, Fikile Mbalula will be there defending the African National Congress. This is why Fikile Mbalula is so popular within the African National Congress. Fikile Mbalula might not be popular because many people actually hate the African National Congress, but within the ANC circles, people love Fikile Mbalula because they know even if Julius Malema says anything about ANC, Fikile Mbalula is the first person to come out and defend the African National Congress. People love a strong leader. People love someone who punches for them. People love someone who do not capitulate to the media attention or to the media scrutiny. Stop caring what the media is saying. Stop caring what these political parties are saying. Start being strong, man. Come out and say that, guys, I am white. There is nothing wrong with me being white. I know that you are black, and there's nothing wrong with you being black. I am a white man, and I am proud to be white. You are a black man, and I know that you are proud to be a black man. And as a black man, do not allow these black politicians to lie to you. They are giving you the worst services. These people are stealing your taxpayers, and you continue to lie to them simply because they are black. Man, people will say, John Steenhuisen, you are racist. How can you say that? But people in the townships, they will say, man, John Steenhuisen is telling the truth. People on the ground, they will say John Steenhuisen is telling the truth because these black politicians are oppressing us. Today, our children are not working. Why? Because of these black politicians. Today, we have crimes within our neighborhoods. Why? Because of these black politicians. So why don't you come out and say, guys, just because you are black, just because you are black, man, stop telling people to vote for you simply because you are black. Start punching for the people of the DA. Start punching for the people of the DA. The people of the DA, they want someone who is strong, who is going to punch, on their behalf. They want someone who is not going to capitulate to the media scrutiny. The media can say whatever they want to say. The media works with African National Congress. You need to understand that. They are not going to give you a positive publicity. Going into these elections, all political parties are not going to get a positive scrutiny. This is why right now, when you look at the news, the only thing they talk about is the African National Congress, African National Congress, African National Congress. These people, man, are trying to sanitize people into thinking about the African National Congress, and the ANC being the only thing they think about going into these elections. This is why right now when you see on TV all the debates that are being heard on television, they are having them because of African National Congress. Mavuso Msimang decided to leave the ANC and come back. It's African National Congress. Ramaphosa threatening people with the 350s. It's African National Congress. Fikile Mbalula saying the ANC lied. It's African National Congress. Jacob Zuma forming a new political party. It's African National Congress. These people are not going to give you any publicity. They're not going to give you any publicity. So any political party that is expecting the media in South Africa to give them positive publicity, man, you need to stop. You need to stop dreaming. You need to stop dreaming. This media is not going to give you positive publicity. And the sooner you realize that, John Steinhazen is in the bed, the sooner you realize that the media is out to get you in the bed.
Another issue is this looming announcement of an election date. For example, if the election date were to be announced to take place in May, would this be a date that the DA agrees with?
Yes, of course. We'd like the election as soon as possible. We believe that we can't wait a moment longer to liberate the country from the corruption, the maladministration, the weak governance, the crime and criminality that South Africans are subjected to. The sooner the better. We're calling on the president, call that date. We're ready. We want to bring it on for this election. And I think the people...
Ramaphosa is waiting for Hamas to tell him when to set the date. Ramaphosa is waiting for Hamas to tell him that, man, you can set the date. Let's say on the 12th of May. Yeah, it's fine. Hamas says it's okay. Hamas says it's okay. I mean, I don't know how the ANC is going to get itself out of this mess of Israel and Palestine. I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of that mess. You watch the international news recently. You see that the American troops were killed somewhere in the Middle East, and the reports believe that those troops were killed by the militants that are supported by Iran. This is the kind of nonsense that we don't want South Africa to be involved in. This is the kind of nonsense that we don't want ourselves to be involved in. Right now, the United States is accusing Iran of blowing up their military personnel. And the same Iran has been accused of funding the ANC to take Israel to court. Guys, this is not a mess that we want. Right now, MTN is being sued in the United States. They are suing MTN in the United States, and they are suing MTN because of the duration that Ramaphosa was the chairman of the ANC. The time Ramaphosa was the chairman of the ANC, the MTN in the United States, they are suing it. They are saying, MTN, man, you guys, you play dirty. You play dirty, man. You helped Iran. You have helped some of these terrorists go against the United States. So they are trying to pin Ramaphosa down. If they're not going to pin him down with Israel, they are going to pin him down with that MTN. If it's not that MTN, then something is going to come up. Something is going to come up. He has already made his choice. He has already made his choice. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that these people, man, are putting the country in danger. They're putting the country in danger right now, man. Just imagine. Just imagine, man, the people in the United States right now, they're seething. They're seething after the military personnel, man, were blown up by these militants that the people believe that the Iran funded them. And the same Iran has been accused of funding the ANC. This is a mess, man.
We've been interacting with people in their homes, in the streets, in the shopping malls, and they have been raising issues that are of concern to them. Young people have been raising issues of education. They want funding for education. They've applied to NSFAS. Some of them have received positive responses. Some of them are in the missing middle, where both parents work and they earn above the limits that we've put. Now they would like to get funding, and we have said we are going to respond to that. And in fact, the minister has come up with an intervention, and that will be put in place.
That intervention by Blade Nzimande, I wonder how much they are going to steal with their friends this time. Blade Nzimande and his friends, man, have been robbing the students blind. And the same Blade Nzimande has been given a chance again to come up with a new intervention. Ramaphosa's presidency is shameful, man. Ramaphosa's presidency is shameful. How is it possible that Bladin Zimande is still the Minister of Higher Education? You think about that scandal at NSFAS. You think about what these people did. How is it possible that those people, man, are still running NSFAS? How is it possible that Bladin Zimande is still running NSFAS? They are allowing Bladin Zimande to come with new interventions. I don't know how many students are going to suffer the consequences of this new intervention by Bladin Zimande. The last time Bladin Zimande tried to come up with a new intervention, he said that NSFAS must stop paying the students through the higher institutions. We must hire our friends and hire these 4 companies to be the ones that are going to be responsible for paying the students. Now the students are not even receiving the allowances.
And announced we want it to be implemented this year, but it will really gain more effectiveness next year, because the missing middle, the people or young people from families that are slightly better to do. We've been focusing on the working class and poor parents. We now need to give attention to the missing middle, and we have plans. We have an intervention which is combined with a grant and a bursary. So that one we're going to be covered, and it's going to bring a lot of happiness to young people who want to advance their education.
And Hugo, the issue of unemployment is always a sticky point for the ANC president. But
I mean, like, at this point, this whole issue of unemployment, man, is just nothing but a talking point. It's nothing but a talking point, man. It looks like there's no one who actually has an idea how to end this unemployment thing. No one actually has an idea, because I don't know how many investors are actually keen to come back and invest into South Africa. I don't know how many people are actually keen into investing into this country. So the issue of unemployment is going to require someone that investors truly love. You remember when Ramaphosa became the president, people said that the investors love Ramaphosa, man. The investors are going to invest in this new South Africa of Cyril Ramaphosa. Did those investors invest? Did those investors invest? No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. Instead, investors left South Africa. Ramaphosa's South Africa, man, failed to give these people load shedding. These people, they cannot even run their companies, because now they have to bear the cost of petrol. They have to bear the cost of diesel. At the same time, they are paying for electricity. So I don't know how the issue of unemployment rate is going to be combated, man. But me personally, I said that, man, people who are going to prioritize the small business sector, people who are going to make sure that young South Africans who have brilliant minds, these people are given the tools to turn their businesses into a success. This is the only way young people are going to be able to hire other young people. According to me, this is how it's going to be done. Empowering the small business sector in South Africa. This notion of taking students to school, man, I'm tired. I know people want their children to be educated. It's fine. Let your children get your 30% and go to university. I'm not against that. But personally, I'm saying that if I was the president, I would actually prioritize the small business sector. Because the small business sector, the world, the big economies in the world, they are being driven by the small business sector. If you don't have a strong business sector, then you cannot fight unemployment. You cannot fight unemployment, man. You know someone who opens up their salon somewhere at home. Once that salon starts getting a couple of clients, naturally, the first thing that person is going to do, they're going to hire the second person. Once the customer get more, they're going to hire the third person. This is how it's done, even with the people who are designing the clothes, even with everywhere. Small business sector, man, it is the way to go. It is the way to go. But telling people, man, telling young people to go to universities and getting these degrees and getting these diplomas and telling them their lives will be okay, man, their lives is not going to be okay. Their lives is not going to be okay. There are no jobs in South Africa. Even if you can encourage young people to go to school, after school, what happens? After school, what happens? After university, what happens? You can't tell me that you are surprised that today South African, especially young people in this country, man, they love drugs, they love alcohol, they love going out with their friend, they love doing nothing productive with their lives. Because some of them, they went to university, they have degrees, they have diplomas, but there's not a single company that is willing to hire them. No one is talking about that issue in particular. There's not a single company that is willing to hire these people. I mean, like, even the numbers do not balance. If you are going to take children to school and you're going to allow the universities to have thousands and thousands of graduates each year, where will those people work? There are only so many companies in South Africa. Where will those people work? This is why I'm saying we need to intensify when it comes to the small business sector. Because if we have a strong business sector, young people in this country, they have ideas. Young people in this country, they have passion. And if they have people who are going to help them turning those passion into real businesses, they are going to be able to hire other young people. But telling them to go to school, to acquire these degrees and to acquire these diplomas and say nothing about the process next, I think it is disingenuous, man. I think it is disingenuous. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Maba, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.